All right, from previous examples, we know that the unit circle parametric is where x is equal to cosine, because that's when you graph on the unit circle, x is your cosine value, and y is equal to sine, because on unit circle, y is your sine value. And you get this graph, and you travel around it in that counterclockwise direction like you learned in trig. What could we do to make a radius change? So on unit circle, radius is 1. What if we want it to be bigger? Well, how you do that with parametrics then is if you want it to increase from 1 to r, multiply both the equations by that number and you would expand the radius out. So then your equations would become x equals r times cosine of t, and y would equal r times sine of t. So for example, if you plug in this first parameter of 0, our x cosine of 0 is 1, so x would be equal to r times 1, which would just be equal to r. So now on the graph, here's our unit circle if this is 1. Well now, if r is some number out here, now our circle has that radius and would be going around. All right, what if you want to make the center change? So what if you don't want it centered at the origin anymore of 0, 0, and you want to move it to some other location like HK here? Well then, in order to do that, how you would change it is add that onto your r cosine and r sine t, and you can create a circle anywhere. So now if you take that amount and add it, then that's going to shift the graph to the location that you want. So that's how you can kind of manipulate if you wanted to graph different circles with a parametric equation, you could do that. So let's say we wanted to graph this unit circle, or a circle here with a center at, let's say this is at the location 3, 4, and let's say we wanted to have a radius of 2. Well then the parametric equations for this would be x equals 3 plus 2 cosine t, and then our y equation would be 4 plus 2 sine t. And if you graphed out those two on your calculator, you would get the circle that had a radius of 2 and the center would be at 3, 4.